Hi guys, welcome back to another AJ's Adventures. I apologize, it has been a minute since we have done a video. I have a whole bunch to talk about real quick. We've got a bunch of pickups to show off, probably our coolest pickups ever because they're retro video games. Everyone loves them and they're all Nintendo retro video games. We're going to start with what I went over, picked up over the weekend, and I still have. I sold a bunch of it already. Some of the better stuff, of course, went pretty quick. But I did find some complete some in-box stuff for N64 and Super Nintendo and stuff. So we're going to show that off real quick. I did get Legacy of the Wizard, and X's Ultima, 2 games, lower dollar of course. I did have Dragon Warriors 3 sold, and then we got Frogger, Super Nintendo. It is just the box, no game or manual. But I still thought it was cool. I only paid $1 for it. It was just a box. You know, who doesn't? It's in pretty decent shape. It is a little creased on the corner here, but in the corners are a little worn out. But the front is actually really good. Besides this little tear, there's 2 little tears and a little bit of corner wear, but it is still really cool. And then we got the Donkey Kong 64 for N64. The game is in perfect condition, and the box is in a little rough shape. There's no manual or expansion pack, but you know, you can't win it all when it comes to this stuff. $2 at a yard sale from a little old lady. I picked up a bunch of these. We picked up Toy Story 2, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie. Sold them all immediately. I couldn't even do a video on it. It was such a I filled the trunk of the car. I was going to do a video on it, and then I was like, I have to pack. We already had 20 orders for the weekend. I was going to show them on Flipwise, but I just don't feel like you guys want that. And then we got some pickups today. I spent $60 today on some retro video games. We got this Game Boy Advance SP. Does work and everything. It does not have the charger, though, so it does still hold the charge. It still has some battery. And then we got some lower dollar games to go with it. Midnight Club, Groovy Games, I think it's Barbie, That's a Raven, Attacking the Power of Juju, Jimmy Neutron, and 10-Pin Alley bowling game. So we got 6 games to go with it. I just bundled it all together in the listing because they're lower dollar games, and I feel like it'll help boost this a bit in the views. It does lack a charger, but otherwise it is the 001 model, 001, AGS 001. And then the better of the 2 systems, we got Game Boy Color. Does work just fine, fires right up, no problem. Comes with this little light. It is not OEM light. It's not an official Nintendo light. It's Nyko. But they can have that. Then we got a bunch of games, and one of them actually took me back to my childhood, and I had to play it for a bit. We got Scooby-Doo, Classic Creep Capers, Crazy Castle 4, Bugs Bunny, some Looney Tunes, Carrot Crazy at the end of the title. I'm not sure. Wish the glare would go away. Just a little bit, maybe. Miss Pac-Man Special Color Edition. Oddworld Adventure 2. But this is the game that took me back, because when my parents got me my first Game Boy Color, I came with 3 games. They got me 3 games to go with it, and this was one of them. Buzz Lightyear Star Command. I've always been a big Toy Story guy and a big Buzz Lightyear fan, so this took me back to my childhood, so I needed to play it for a bit. Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. It's just a run and gun game. Nothing too crazy. It doesn't take long to beat it even. But it just took me back to being one of the first games I ever had for the Game Boy Color. You know, it took me back to that. I think it was for Christmas. I got the teal Game Boy Color, gold, silver in this game, as well as a Mickey Mouse racing game. I think it was something along those lines. It was another, just fun game. But I distinctly remember this and playing through it for quite a while, so that brought me back. So I wanted to show that off. I paid $60 for the Game Boy Color, the games, the Game Boy SP, and the games.